Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. The last video we left off, actually I think I was making it right around here. It was silent on purpose. Was not having sound issues because I was watching Breaking Bad with my girlfriend and her dog. And so you guys didn't really need to hear that. No explanation was involved because I had captions, which I've removed. But essentially, we were forming this perfect cup pattern up until about just shortly after the point I made the video, looking at Bitcoin US dollar on the hourly time frame here. And we had a little dip below. And actually, that was probably a signal for me to put this channel here. Which I did move over eventually. This is like one of our elevator channels. Bitcoin tends to travel in these patterns. Anyway, we're not going to go over that now. There's many examples from the past, and sure enough, that's what Bitcoin started doing here. Although it tried to follow the rest of this cup pattern as much as possible, and I did predict that we would come back down. We would be going up at some point here. And there was always the potential of breaking out of these ascending triangle patterns right here that we were forming at this point. And sure enough, that's what we did, rather than come back for one more retest of the base of the triangle and the formation of a handle on this cup pattern. Which would have then taken off on market open this morning. Well, apparently Bitcoin couldn't wait for all that. So we had the breakout last night and has continued moving upwards in this at approximately the slope of this channel, a little bit below the channel here, inside the channel here, and clearly closing candle bodies at the top of the channel there before breaking back in. Now, what is important is this triangle that we were trading in. If I can get this in. Marked by this line here, the base right here, this white or yellow line, whatever color that is, because I do have the blue blocker on my phone. So I don't know if that's white or yellow. Probably white. And so that's the base of an ascending triangle we were trading in recent days, since 28th of February. So for about a week on the hourly chart here in that consolidation zone. Now, typically bases of triangles are bottoms of channels. So its twin over here is the top, is this line here. I haven't drawn a channel because, quite frankly, there's plenty of channels on this chart. But his match is right up here at the top. And why is that? Because it's the height of this wick of our triangle. Well, other than this wick, the triangle base, the top is down here. But we did have this wick up, so that would be the top of our channel. Here's the base, here's the top. Now, what we're doing, now you might be able to see that these lines that I've drawn, actually the base of our channel here is really the center line. I mean, the base of our triangle is really the center line of, where's my settings? Settings. Oh, there they are. It's really the center line of this pink channel right here that I just made thicker, those thick dashed lines. That's where we've been trading. We've been holding support on the center line of this channel. Here's the base of the channel, here's the center line, here's the top. Now, what we've done is we've just moved into an equivalent channel stacked on top of this one. And as you can see, we got rejected off the center line here. I'll make that center line thicker. If I can click on it, there we go. Center line thicker. There we go. And so actually I drew our triangle bases match just slightly below that center line, but whatever. Look for consolidation between this center line here and this center line in the channel here. Now they both are sloping upwards. The base currently is at around 60. Okay, so here, right now, at this very moment, the base is at 62,800-ish. By Friday, end of day, that'll be up around 65, just over 65,000. Now, the top of this channel is, you know what, let's measure the dashed line. The center line of the channel is currently at 67,300 and moving up to, guess what, 69,000 by the end of the week. So what that is telling me, we're going to consolidate in that channel. Now, whether we come all the way back down to the base or not is questionable. But as we predicted earlier, we'd have some sort of a consolidation up to the all-time high. That's still what's going on. It's just taking a different path. Now, whether we stay up here like this, and come down here, who knows? Something like that. Oh, I'll just leave those guys out of the way. So expect some sort of consolidation like that, maybe just in the upper portion of this channel, maybe down here. I don't think Bitcoin's ready to break out. But I may be wrong. There may just be so much more demand for this than us humans can comprehend. Because as my friend, my internet friend, who I don't know, but he's my friend, Tyler, points out continually that we are only human and not capable of being bullish enough. Even if any attempts for us to be baby bulls, we cannot be because we are simply humans. Anyway, I fudged that, but we aren't baby bulls. Now, that being said, let's switch to a daily because the chart doesn't matter. What matters is the RSI. If you look at the daily RSI, I think the green line here is the important line. The yellow one has proven not to be so important because this, whatever. This is our trend line here. And we're on a daily. Let's go to Friday. Here's Friday. Do we break down out of this trend line by Friday? I don't think so. Possibly consolidate still over the weekend. Maybe next week is where we start pulling back because we're up at 85 here. Now, that being said, can we continue on upwards and upwards and upwards for quite some time through the end of March? Possibly. That's possibly that we get into the lower 70s. And that's another scenario I'll have to look at because that is quite possible. I do not believe, however, I don't know, who knows, that if we punch through 69,000, that we just explode upwards. I do remember seeing something where we could go up to about 80,000, and I forgot where I had that in the chart, and I don't want to go over it now. But that was a target that I had. Possibly, I don't know. We'll have to reevaluate that this week. See what these ETFs are. What's going on with them and their demands and the outflows from. Well, the outflows from GBTC is either stopped or going to be stopping pretty soon. I don't imagine it continuing on beyond this week. But yeah. RSI is really toppy. It's looking for a pullback. Maybe the first couple days of next week over here. Or not. Now, let's look at a weekly RSI. And we do have a green channel there channel. It's a trend line, green trend line. See here on the weekly, we could stay up here for quite some time, even heading into the halving. So it is really up in the air. Would we see if we did see a pullback next week, what would that get us here on the weekly? You know, anyway, we know what we're going to do this week, I believe, and we'll just have to figure out the rest of that at a later date. But here we are, going up to this little Christmas package at 69,000. All right, like, subscribe, and the rest of the market is not doing shit really. Oh, they're moving back up a little bit. Okay, they weren't doing anything. And some of those ones I recently invested in are kind of lagging, but we'll get into that another time. I see where they're just still consolidating on their chart before breaking out. Let's see what they are. Yeah, they haven't really moved much. Yeah, a lot of these haven't moved much, but typically when you see Bitcoin pull back, these have been pulling back lately as well, but I don't know. Initially, but we have seen moves in the altcoin market. And I'll have to look at that again because right now I'm speaking out my ass. Don't listen to what I'm saying right now. I'm speaking out my ass. Because see, like for example, Render, that's one of my favorites. In Solana. We need to go to we're on a weekly. We need to go to an hourly. See, Render's just having a little consolidation and pullback. Oh, sure enough, look what it did. That's what I was going to say. In the past couple hours, it has bounced right off the center line of this channel. So that's nice to see. And that's what I was just about to point out because I was looking for that coming. That's the center line where we did have our target. And we shot past our target. We shot past our target up to this anyway, and back down to the center line, back up, and now back down to the center line. So, yeah, looks like these guys are getting ready to move. All right, like, subscribe, and let's look at Solana before we go. I think Solana's doing the same thing. That's interesting. I was looking for Solana possibly to come back down at like to about there, maybe 120. I think I said 126 earlier when I did measure this. It must have been on a different chart because I don't see the equivalent lines here. But as you can see here with the red dotted line that oh, no, that doesn't make any sense. That is the red dotted line that I made. Oh, that's weird. Look at that. Okay, so that's where I was predicting Solana would bounce off of this support level here. Now, these are diagonal supports. A lot of people use horizontal lines, and horizontal lines have their place, but you can clearly see we have diagonal support here. So you got to pay attention to this stuff. And we bounced off of there and are heading back up. So looks like at minimum that we are having consolidation here, probably the same as Bitcoin through the end of the week. And it also looks like possibly a triangle formation here in this area. And that would probably have a breakout upwards here next week. So probably consolidation in Solana in this area between 137 and 126-ish, wherever it's at now, and higher lows throughout the week. Oh, so I'm glad I looked at those two charts at least. All right, so like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.